I also want to look for that robot costume, and Kyoko, and Hiro. So 5 objectives: find the two bodies, find the robot costume, find Kyoko, find Hiro. I'm gonna check in here, because those hammers were missing from here, so this area is suspicious. Okay, there's you two. Huh? The door must be locked. Hey, hey, no, no, don't just walk away from the door without saying anything. Hey, you two. Anything? Where could two dead bodies have disappeared to? I wonder. The newly locked door. Sakura, you're like super strong. Knock down the door, please. We need to search for the bodies that have disappeared. What happens after that? Okay. Like, there's no rule against us harming the school itself, right? We can knock down a door. Sakura, please knock down the door. I need that. Obviously, I can't do it right now because the game says no, but if I was in this situation, I would absolutely just bust down that door or get someone else to do it for me. Okay, which way to back the right? Okay, I came from that way, so this way. Wait, no. Wait, no, I came from that way. This way. Yeah. Okay. And then that way. Okay. The 3rd floor is very easy to get lost in for whatever reason. Rec room? Anyone in here? You know, I still haven't been able to check the area that I was gonna check in the, like as the first place, which was the laundry... no, wait, no, which was the locker room by the bath, because that's a thing. Stop going the wrong way, please. And yeah, I said that I was gonna stop right after the murders happened, but I'm really quick gonna... Huh. Actually, when should I stop this? Okay, I'm just gonna check these 2 classrooms and then I'll stop, because I really do need to stop. Oh. Makoto.
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh, you mean...
Indeed.
I found them. Hifumi and Taka's bodies have both been hidden in the repository? I've already told Hina and Sakura. We'll go on ahead. Their bodies were in the repository? Isn't it the locked room? Isn't that the... If it is the locked room, I told everyone. I told literally everyone. I think that's what this room was called, wasn't it? Are the bodies here somewhere? Up ahead is the repository. The doorknob turned. I guess it's unlocked. Who unlocked it? Then I have no choice but to go inside. I called it from the very beginning. So I opened the door. I am predicting this murder like the back of my hand, even though I have no clue what the back of my hand looks like. Like, I'm staring at it right now, and like 2 seconds later, I won't remember what it looks like. I already forgot it, right there. So I opened the door. And when I entered, I saw... That's gonna be a nice thumbnail picture. The 2 bodies that disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. The smell of blood isn't that bad, it's just, you know, metallic. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. See, the smell of blood isn't that bad, the smell of rotting flesh is pretty bad. And then I heard the announcement for the 2nd time.
A body had been discovered!
What?
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
And so here we are. What? We had the announcement for Hifumi's body. I guess that was the announcement for Taka's body. I guess maybe since Toko passed out that didn't count? I don't understand why that wouldn't count, but I guess that after that, no more people than... Wait, no, yeah, there was me... There's me... Celeste, and Byakuya in the room with it. What?
It's the Monokuma file!
Without further ado, let me give you all the Monokuma file. I was going to hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right. Just hand it over already. Or maybe Monokuma's just messing with us, because this is the first time we saw the bodies together.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Now, I'll make sure to investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later.
Well then, now that we found the bodies, that's all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know.
That's terrible.
Dead, gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this? Why? Why?
Large, wet tears fell from our eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this was some world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. It's like the end of Tangled. What? This wasn't...
He's alive again? Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Interesting. So that's why there weren't two body announcements before. Because Taka was the only body that was found. It just happened to be at the same time that Hifumi's would have happened. He was just completely unconscious and appeared to be dead because he was bleeding so much. Because he's obviously a... Well, then why was there the second announcement? Because he's still not dead.
Hifumi! Wake up!
He's kind of awake already.
That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything before I met you all. I met you all.
Okay. His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light, it's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu.
Huh. His eyes closed. Okay, well, yeah, as we all thought, hero. But that's interesting. Something we have to take into account. Byakuya said don't listen to him. His memories are all blending together. But what he said is interesting. Wait, what did he say exactly? It was something along the lines of, before I met you all, I'd met you all. And also, last time, wasn't there that picture of, like... I forget who it was. It was like... Who was it? It was Chihiro and Mondo, I think? A picture of them... I'm trying to remember. Anyways. Let's keep that in mind. And they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return, just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. Really, because it just became exciting for me. And after that, given that this sounds like it might be a little bit shorter of a class trial, I may just do it this time. Actually, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I might take a quick break to go to the bathroom, but yeah. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Okay. So it was Hiro. Yasuhiro Hakagure. If I pronounce that right, good. If I pronounce that wrong, sorry. I'm not too good with Japanese names yet. I've been starting to learn just the tiniest bit of hiragana, but that's it. I don't know any actual Japanese yet. That is the only person he could have been referring to.
So, in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is? It certainly doesn't sound like him, but it can't be anyone else. If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
That's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's what we want to say. Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. Oh, but my throat. Can I do the class trial? The class trial tends to have a lot of like talking already done for me. Like most of the trials are voiced, so I think I might be able to do it. I will certainly try. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. Probably at least 2 more times, actually. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this, to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Investigate. First, I better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened in the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko? Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. What if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude, I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I, during the class trial?
speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
Interesting. So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it. So, are you saying nobody worked together this time, either?
hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget. No matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So, in other words,
Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal?
well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened, so just one person?
Well now,
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you, and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one blackened, and accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see why Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
however,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider someone a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. What? I'm offended. When did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk-sack swimmer girl.
Huh?
Milk-sack?
You better be kidding.
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then,
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, don't you, Hina? Or do you, Hina? I forget what she said. Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
It's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing feels so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Okay, Monokuma file number 3 has been added to truth bullets. Okay, so, really quick. I am going to go to the bathroom, maybe fill up my drink more, and I will be right back. So, yeah. Okay, I'm back. And I just saved, but before I saved, I accidentally clicked on the hammers. Let's see if it gives us the same thing. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some look more like mallets. Okay, it does look like it's saying the same thing. Could the Justice Hammers have been disguised using these as a model? Called it. Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. But for some reason, this hammer isn't dirty at all. And it's also wet. Did someone wash it recently? Wait. No, there's still 4 missing. Huh, interesting. Anything I can learn about the bodies? Hifumi's big, cold body is lying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office to here was discovered... Oh, wait. From the nurse's office where it was discovered to here, the repository. All the way from the 1st floor to the 3rd. And all that without anyone noticing. How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. Yeah, see, like he said, this is gonna be a little bit strange. So yeah, I've made the decision. I'm not gonna record Dark Souls. I'm gonna record this to the end of the class trial. This class trial may be as long as the other ones, but if it is, whatever. I kind of tried to not get too into the game right now because I didn't want to have to record it for so long, but like, there's really nothing I can do. It is a fun game, and this trial really just kind of grabbed me, so... I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head, probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When the body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Okay, good thing he noticed that. I absolutely would not have. Does this mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that, and why? Hifumi's glasses... So yeah, this is going to be a lot more complicated than it seems. But everyone does have an alibi, so it's interesting. Okay, Taka. Taka, he'll never move again. I don't know how his hair turned back to black, but whatever. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way, there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp has been added to truth bullets, okay. Okay. Anything you have to say? There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be a good idea to look back on everything that's happened.
So then,
Would you like my help? Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up in the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. Okay? We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. Okay. But not long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow of someone moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor, where we split up and began searching. Then, right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. Saw him, strange costume man, he ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway, into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. Okay, so the one inconsistency that I might be able to see is Celeste says that she saw Robo-Justice. What if she didn't? Because she was acting weird. She was acting panicked. And when you're panicked, you can sometimes kind of see what you want to see, rather than what's actually there. What if she saw Taka instead? Like as he was just circling the corner. So, like, she didn't get to see him very well. That might be a possibility, so I want to keep that in mind. That we don't necessarily have complete confirmation that Robo-Justice was the one that Celeste saw. It's bad, come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. You, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. Wait a second. Didn't I go down to see Hifumi? Yeah, I went down to see Hifumi. No, Hina went to the 3rd floor, didn't she? Oh, wait, no. Who went to the 3rd floor? I can't remember. Celeste? It definitely wasn't me that pursued the suspect. We got back to the nurse's office. Found Hifumi's corpse. No, Hina was with us. It was Hina, Sakura, and me, so I guess Celeste went with them? Wait, no. Sakura... Yeah, Sakura went... Yeah, Sakura was the one that went with them, right? Okay, I can't remember, but anyways, she got that wrong. So let's just remember that this is her... the way that she's describing it. She isn't necessarily 100% correct. She might make a mistake. This is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm trying to... Okay.
However...
At the same time, we discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement playing right after finding Taka, and that's when I should have told you Byakuya and Hifumi had been killed, right? And you, me, and Byakuya all headed to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. Okay. When we hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone, then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. Listening to all this... This time, Taka's body had disappeared. From there, we began our search for both of the missing bodies, and after some time, Celeste told us she found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered the 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. That's interesting. Something is coming to my mind. I won't voice it now. Okay, I will voice it now. Right now, Celeste is a very, very unreliable source. We need to remember that right now. She is very unreliable. She was attacked with a hammer, if we believe her. But also remember, Celeste is very, very good at lying. She only has an alibi. Yeah, she only has an alibi if we believe that she was actually attacked. If she pretended to be attacked... Huh. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. She could have pretended to be attacked. Because if she wasn't actually unconscious... then she doesn't have an alibi anymore. I don't know how she got that picture, but the fact that she was able to snap a picture without the killer noticing is very suspicious. Especially if she was attacked and apparently went unconscious, because if you go unconscious from a blow to the head, you usually go unconscious, if not immediately within the next, like, second. At least I think so. So... interesting. It might actually not be Hero. There might be some flaw... I'm in that line of thought, but it might be a thing. So let's just remember that. Rediscover the two bodies that apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now. Looking back, things have certainly been very active.